So, hope everybody's doing well. We are at the Mary Peters track in Belfast. I'm just doing my warm down. But today, a little bit of a different sort of video that I probably haven't done for a while, where I'm not sort of sitting at home doing that like interview style. I'm actually out running, and I just finished what will be like a pre-race, getting the body ready for Sunday. On Sunday, which depending on when I post this, I'm racing a road 10k, and I'm trying to race probably like once a month, which is sort of set up to, you know, A, to gauge where the fitness is at, but B, to kind of get used to the fact that like running is difficult. And also when you train, like I'm training today, you're in control. If you want to push a little bit, you can push a little bit. If you want to take it easy, you can take it easy. In races, you have other athletes, you have spectators, you have all sorts going on, and they might then dictate whether or not you can take it easier, push, etc. So today we're doing enough of a session that we keep the sort of like fitness benefits moving forward. As you've probably now realised, I've been back in the thick of training for probably a good sort of month or two, and so fitness is getting a lot better, actually probably 2 months, 3 months. And so yes, I'm gonna taper things down for the race, but I don't want to taper things down too much, because you still want to have gained fitness that week. Like, you can't taper for every race and not like gain fitness over 3 months, 4 months, etc. So I'm doing a 1 mile at like tempo effort, then I do 6 times 400s a little bit quicker, and then I do a mile back to that like tempo effort, and then I do 6 times 200s again a bit faster, and then a 1 mile back to tempo. My arm's getting tired holding the camera. So how did it go? Okay, so the recoveries was a lap jog after the mile, and then the recovery was 30 to 40 seconds between the 400s, then another lap jog, and then I got 45 seconds between the 200s, another lap jog, and then back into a mile. It's difficult before a race not to overcomplicate what you're doing, right? And what I probably mean by that is, of course, if you've got a race in 3 days' time, it would be impossible to not overthink how you're feeling, right? And so today I felt really good, but you still get greedy that you want maybe like the mile rep and it's 4:48, and that's around the speed that you race your last 10k. You probably want it to feel better than it does, and that's so normal. But what you need to do is just calm it down, don't read into it too much, and just get a decent session done. And so hopefully that's what it did a good job of today, was getting a decent enough session done while not doing too much. We're just going to walk up the hill. While not doing too much that you end up probably like jeopardizing your race to the point of like, if you do way too much on the Thursday and you're racing Sunday, you know, you're just going to be tired for the race, and then it's not really going to tell you how fit am I, you know, where's the training, is the training working, is it not working, because you almost, without meaning to, self-sabotaged the race. So I think I've probably done a decent amount today. It was hot, which lately I have to say is really starting to piss me off. Oh, my body just does not cope well with the heat, like, at all, which is frustrating. But I'm just not, you've watched my videos for long enough now, I'm not 50 kilos. I'm not 55 kilos like some of the, you know, East African guys that are absolutely crushing it, you know, weighing at 70 kilos. So when it's warm, sometimes I just struggle. But good little session, good to get that done. Felt pretty good. My feedback probably over the last week or two has been, even though I might not feel like a superstar, like I'm ready, you know, to go bloody stand the start line of the Olympics, I'm doing reps quicker at relative efforts than it would have been a month ago. And they're the little victories that you need to sort of celebrate. Where I'm going with that is, I'm out there today, I'm doing the final mile rep. I decide to sort of like relax, enjoy it, take the pressure off, and I run a mile. I think I end up running 4:49, but I decide not to look at my watch until halfway. Try not to like, oh, it needs to be this pace. Oh, it must be this pace or it's a bad day. And so what I do is I set off, I try to get into a nice rhythm, I try to run at the sort of like intensity that I was looking for, that it was kind of like a tempo-y threshold type effort. Doesn't necessarily need to be threshold, whereby if you take lactate, it's the perfect lactate, but just run at that sort of like thresholdy rhythm and then see where it comes out, rather than every 100 meters or every 200 meters looking at that split and then maybe getting a little bit frustrated that you're not quite there and then you're forcing the effort. Why I'm happy with where things are at is, even when I'm training that way, even when I'm setting off and I'm not putting any pressure and I'm just seeing where it's at after 800 meters, it's basically in a better place than it would have been a month ago. That's what I mean by this. It's you're getting to 800 meters and it's 2:25 and it's sitting at 4:50 pace and it's like, wow, like that's great. I'm really, really happy with that. And a month ago it might have been 2:30, 2:31. And it's not that that's bad, but it's just like, oh, I'd really like that to have been maybe 2:25. And so hopefully I'll post this before the race on Sunday. And if you're sort of from Belfast or Northern Ireland, you can come check that out. It's the Laganinside 10K here in Northern Ireland. I'm not putting a goal time. I did run 29:55 at the Weybridge 10K. That was probably about 5 weeks ago now. This was probably like the surface underfoot for most of the Weybridge 10K, where it's sort of like trail, gravelly path, not really road. And so if I can run 29:55 there, you'd like to think, having now trained for another month, hoping the training's in a better place, that actually this race might go a little bit better. So good little session, felt pretty good, was a little bit warm, but I'm happy with the splits. For 2 days now, I'll take things much, much easier and then get myself ready for that race. But thanks for watching.